Right, we've got here a Neon dirt bike, 48 volt, 1200 watt bike. We'll go through the setup of it. First thing we do, in the box that you get, you've got a back flappy mud guard. So we undo the suspension bolt, slide the square over, push that up, and then put the bolt in. Right, so 14mm nut and a 12mm bolt, 13mm bolt, sorry. Let me just tighten those up. Right, also in the box, 4 Allen key bolts and 2 nuts. H5 Allen key, and underneath the frame at the back there are 4 holes, and we just screw those in. Put those in lightly. Just have a quick check of the bolt on the back axle. I think it's a 19, 17. Make sure it's tight, that's really tight, that is, so that's fine. If you tilt the bike to one side, you'll see the red wire with a fuse casing on it. So in your bag that you get, you just get a fuse. It'll crack, but it doesn't matter. There, put the lid on. There you go, that's the fuse done. What we do with that is, we tie that up at the very end to the side of the frame. 2 clamps are on the top. In your box again, you'll have a clamp like that with 4 bolts in it. Bolt heads are H6, which is a bigger Allen key. So we put the bars on top, put the clamp on. What I do first is I use my gun just to put them in. Take the cover off. Get a long bar with the Allen key in, and I tighten them up. Pull around to see if they move. If they don't move, that's lovely. Then put the phone back on. Just velcros around like that. There you go, that's the handlebars done. Also at the front here, where we put the mud guard on, H5 Allen keys. Take that one out, make sure you keep hold of the spacer. There's a spacer there with that. Take those out. So there's 3 holes in the mud guard. I always put the front bolt in first. Don't tighten them up tight, just leave them loose. Get all 3 in. Now that's loose. So also in your box, you'll find a little bag. 3 screws in it, but we only need 2. And a little clamp. The little clamp goes on the front. There, we pull the bar down and we clamp that down like that. There we go, we don't have to over tighten that. Right, there you go, that's the clamp on. When the clamp's on, you've took the bolt out here, that's where your number plate bolt goes. So in your box again, you'll have a number plate. You've got 2 pins here on the front of your mud guard, and you've got 2 holes on the number plate. So that fits on top in the pins. Yeah, like that. Make sure when you put this on that your wires aren't tangled at the back. Once that's in, you push that over, you put your bolt in. There. Then the spacer that came with that bolt goes on the back, and then you push that all in and tighten it up. inches. Then you tighten the ones up underneath your mud guard, which pulls your mud guard up to secure that in place. And 3. So that should all be secure now. Last thing to do, the front wheel. So now, the front brake caliper. It's holding on by one nut, so what we'll do is we'll undo that, loosen them off, take that one out, line that up with the bolts, and tighten it up. Right, that's a caliper done. Right, front wheel. It's wrapped in a cage. When you take the cage off it, the bag can be secured to the bottom cage with the axle bolt for the front wheel. So when you take it out, keep hold of it. It should have 2 spacers with it and a nut. So what we do is we look to see there's a plastic wedge in the calipers. We just get a spanner, pry it open a bit, take the wedge out, throw it away. So then you get the bolt, we just put it in the front. The 2 spacers are here. You want the large spacer to go on the wheel, brake wheel side. So we'll put the wheel in, put the disc into the caliper, lift it up a bit, put your spacer in and push your bar in. Then lift your wheel up in line and push it all through. When it comes through the other side there, put your spacer on, push the axle bar back, and then just line the holes up again and it all comes through. 17mm socket for the nut, 14mm for the bar, and just tighten that up. Make sure the wheel spins, then pump the front brake, keep pumping it until you can feel resistance on it, and when you spin the wheel, brake will stop. There. Same as the back, just check the back, there's plenty of resistance there, so that one's fine. You'll get a tie wrap in the box. Red cables are where you put the fuse in. We just put a tie wrap and tie that together there, like that. Keeps it nice and tidy. Cut the end off, and that's for your speed. 1, 2, 3. Lift that up, push the button up, lights up on the handlebars. You're good to go.
So Russ has just finished building the Neon Sparks 1200W electric dirt bike. So next thing I'm going to just do a run over with you. You got the charger in your box with it. A little toolkit, I think he's already been through that, and obviously your spare fuses in your owner's manual. Always check that before you use it. Check your warranties online and whatnot so you don't void anything, even if you've had it set up or if you've built it yourself. First thing I'd do obviously is, if you've got another set of eyes, happy days, run all over the nut and bolts, all plastics, casing, foot pegs, your rear brake and sprocket, and your caliper. All right round, another set of eyes if you've got them, like I say. If not, just a quick nip up, make sure it's safe. That's the main thing here, safety's key. A couple of other bits on it, so when you first get it, it will probably say it's fully charged. It's good practice for servicing your battery to do it between 4 and 6 hours, even if the charge light's green. If you can do it 8 hours, it prolongs the battery life and it's good for the service on the battery. It's a great little tip for you in that. It's in the manual as well. Not a lot of people like reading stuff like that. I hate reading, but check your manual. Keys obviously on here, so you got your 3 speeds. So 1 is the lowest, 2 the medium, and 3 the highest. You can obviously take these out and then they're locked off. The other things on it, obviously you've got 2. We do sell these as separate if you lose them or whatnot. We do have them. I'd just leave 1 in and keep it, say, 1 spare if you've got it. Like I say, full nut and bolt check. The stickers, they come off, so your protective stickers. So these peel off. The whites are just on the covers, so you can take them off. The charger. So you have 2 connectors. Ideally, it always wants to be charged indoors, and you want to avoid any water or anything like that, so you don't damage anything. Especially if you're going to damage, lithium battery and whatnot. Electric is involved. Safety, as mentioned, is key. So the charging port on the bike is located on the right hand side. It's on the frame here, and you've got a little prong. If you see it there, see that? Yeah. Yeah. So you got a little prong, and that matches that groove on the end of the charger here. Now don't shove it in. You need to be careful. Got around here, Mike. Line your groove up, which is over there. Plug it in. Line it up, and then you screw that on. And that's tight, that's secure. That means if you've got it out, you've got kids running around, they knock it over, it's not going to, you know, pull out and snap or do anything like that. It's really good to and really important that you tighten that up. You plug your end in, put the charger in the wall, switch it on your charger. You'll have a light on here, which goes from red to green when done. Obviously when it's charging it should be red. Removing it, just unscrew it. Around here, Mike. Unscrew it. Carefully pull it out. Don't try and pull it out while it's tight. Again, you can damage the end of the charger. It's also bad practice if you bend this wire, a bit like an iPhone charger cable, because that effectively can break the charger. So you need to be very careful. Put it in. Keep a nice free line, ideally next to a plug socket if you've got one close by indoor. Charge it up as per the charging instructions in the manual. For brakes, brake maintenance as well. So on here, these are hydraulic disc brakes. So there's a brake reservoir in there. You've got your dot 4, it's in the manual, fluid that goes into these little reservoirs if you start running out, if the brakes start taking wear and tear, if they come free and they're not working. So always good maintenance checks to check those. Regular, like I say, after each ride, nut and bolt checks, especially with the power the back wheel can pull through. The vibration through the bike, really important that you check that. Follow the service manual so that all your warranty is still intact and covered. Any more questions? quad-rails.com. I think that's it.